now with you traveling out of New York City, this is
Yeah.
your first time here in Berlin.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been to Barcelona, other places, London. Um, I'm always curious about like what is your mindset now or your mind state in terms of like you know travel, life. I don't know if that's too general, but
About travel?
yeah,
What
because you
about travel?
well, because I think we talked about it a little bit in terms of like your thoughts of New York City and where you're at and
Yeah.
eventually leaving.
Yeah.
And, I feel like when people travel to different countries or different places, that it kind of sets the seed of like where, them possibly living in one of these places or
Yeah.
so. And I don't know if that has happened or is that even something in your mind in terms of eventually living
Mm.
outside of
Yeah,
New York City?
I always think about it. I always think about it. When people tell me about New York, I think this is a sign of leaving is like I don't really have anything good to say about New York, which is not a good sign.
Mm.
Or but I don't know if that's also because I've been there for too long. And anywhere you go for too long, you see the negatives more than the positives because everything's too close, you know? Um and also going back to what we were talking about before, it's like same shit every day, but everything changes. So it's not the city that I knew anymore. Um I think everybody in New York that's like a New Yorker is just living on past memories, honestly. Truly. I
Mm.
honestly do believe that. And this way you could clip this shit up and tell and like bring on I really do believe that. I think that the city is just a nostalgia dream for New Yorkers. I think that the New Yorkers that are still there are struggling, and I think that anybody that actually enjoys New York is not from there. I truly believe that. I think anybody that's having a good time in New York is a child of nepotism or a child of money or an old person that, made their way. And it's not a 24-hour city anymore. It really isn't.
Right.
And I'm not going to say where I live, but there's in the whole city, there's diners. Like, I mean, I know this is such a simple thing, but diners used to be 24 hours and it used to be such a New York staple where you could just write and chill and talk shit and stuff like that. Diners close at 11 or 12.
That is wild.
They do. They close
Yeah.
at 11 or 12. And it's not because they don't want to open, it's because the city is it's either or all unsafe, um, or they don't have the money to open it up for that long.
Mhm.
So there's nobody with disposable income. So that
Mm.
really affects people in the arts. That's what we live on. People need to eat and then they go to shows. If you can't eat, you're not going to go to a show, you know? Yeah, it's uh I do think about leaving. I still don't know where. Um yeah, I still don't know where cuz you said that the winters here are terrible.
The winters in Berlin is not a joke. That
Yeah.
that one has been told to me, and I took that for granted. And boy, was
I
I,
mean, you had to live through it to see it for yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, had to. Yeah, I don't think anyone can prepare.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
the most optimistic, being like, "No, it's
It'll
okay.
be
I'm
fine.
wearing a nice jacket and blah blah
Yeah, yeah,
blah,"
yeah.
and basically almost damn near passed out multiple
Yeah,
times.
with the vitamin D and stuff.
Vitamin D, not going outside, not moving my body, not catching the sun when
Yeah.
it's out. So yeah, yeah, when you get used to that, then you're good. Or you just travel to a warmer country. That's what people do here.
But here's the other thing about sorry to go back to New York.
Yeah,
But
please.
here's the other thing about New York is that whenever you feel like I think maybe this is a universal feeling that when you do leave and tell me if you feel this way is that when you do leave New York, you feel like there's still things to before you leave, there's still things to accomplish in New York where you're like maybe I should stay here because there are opportunities and things and all that stuff. So that's one apprehension I have to leaving where
Mhm.
I kind of go like, well, is there still something to like hold on to in that sense like with comedy and entertainment because there is something there but social media is like king so it doesn't really matter if you're there you'll be asked to be there eventually
Yeah.
so yeah I don't know it's and also a little common probably a little complaint it's also like the future of comedy in New York, I don't think is Very good.